What's up, everybody? My name is Galson Anthony, the best to ever do it, and another episode of the G2G podcast. Today, I got somebody who gives me competition. Somebody who walks in the lane that I walk. I found him in the industry, as a matter of fact, and somebody, when I looked at his work, I was like, we're gonna have a problem here, right? Somebody whose creativity is very, very wide, and also on screen, very, very talented. No other than Ofentse Mwase.
You got it, my man. With that southern accent, you know what I'm saying? I'm with my boy Galston right here. You know what it is? Galston didn't know that he has an accent until he was in grade 10. Hey, this guy.
No, actually, just first year, right?
First year?
Yeah, so I was explaining the story off camera. So this is what happened, right?
Yeah.
So I did not know I have an accent. I've been spending a lot of time in South Africa. My parents brought me here, so I came here pretty young. The one girl came to me, some girl I wanted, like, but why do you have an accent? You know, with a little bit of an attitude. I was like, I don't have an accent. She's like, you do. It wasn't apparent to me that I have an accent because my whole life, everybody's like, why do you like speaking English so much? You're black. You should be speaking our language. And then it hit me. Then I started calling my friends, hey, do I have an accent? Like, yeah, how do you not know that? You know?
It's because it's so strong that they thought that you knew already. I think that's what it is.
Now we know. Now we
That's
know.
crazy.
But hey, we're not here about me. We're here for you, right?
Thank you. Thank you for the invite, bro. G2G. What is G2D?
From one G to another G.
That's dope.
You know what? Thank you. But the thing is, I have to give Nota the props because he's the one that came up with the name. You know, we came up with the name on the show.
Yeah.
Right? Because when I filmed
That's Nota for you.
That's Nota, right?
Yeah.
I think we need to give Nota his flowers.
Nota has drama in his life, but for the most part, he helps a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
That's one thing I'll tell you.
He puts people on. So although
even
his
me, dude. Like,
Word?
I'll tell you the story during the podcast, but yeah.
Actually, let's hear it now.
Yeah, so Nota, like, bro, I think he's one of the people that believed in me way back then. Like the time when I started working in Navo, Cuesta, and all those guys. He's the guy that actually gave me the opportunity and told people that trust this guy. Let this guy get it. So yeah, Nota can come and say he claims Uguti, he made me and what when I was 6 years old. He's not lying though.
He's not.
He did.
When he was 6 years old.
When he was 6, that man created me, dog.
Yeah.
He ain't lying. That's the truth.
Nota's a good dude.
Yeah,
He's a good dude.
he's
He's just,
awesome.
I think in our discussion, and I implore you to watch the podcast,
I will.
is that I think he's misunderstood.
He's misunderstood.
But he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He really is a good guy. But he's using that to his advantage to be, you know,
relevant.
Right.
To be honest, I feel like any country, dude, if you go to the States, you have Charlemagne, you know, if you go to UK, you have whoever. We need a person like that because they keep everybody on their toes.
So on that note, let's go back to you, right? Let's first have a drink it out.
Cheers
right?
to that.
You were saying a lot of things about this drink.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
So, Uncle Scrooge.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the days when you were still like Cousin Scrooge, like before, you know, that name became household, because now you go with more your real name.
Yeah.
But tell me about the early days.
Yeah, I think that's just me. I'm a kid from Rustenburg, that's it. And, you know, that's where I grew up. Kotlaban, that's my hood. So that's where I grew up. That's where I got to become the person that I am today. And, you know, I just came, I remember this same name, Uncle Scrooge, I made it up back then when I was a kid at that time. I think I was 11 when I got that name, so it stuck with me all these years.
You call Uncle at 11.
At 11, bro, I was called Uncle. That's the funny part about it. By the time I got to 24, I was getting pissed off that people are calling me Uncle in a sense, because I wasn't at the time. And then finally, I think when I hit 32, I finally became an uncle for real. So that was like a change in the whole thing.
When you became 32, so how old are you now?
Now I'm 37 now.
37, okay.
Yeah, so the fact that I actually became, now that I'm mentioning that, now that I'm 37, now I've become officially a grandfather.
Woo! Granddaddy Scrooge.
It's crazy, bro.
And we become granddaddies at an early age lately.
Yeah, dude. I was actually crying on the inside the other day that, dude, how can a 37-year-old be a grandfather? That's like insane to me, you know, so it blew my mind. But I guess things happen, you know, especially now with the pace that the world is going. Everything is going so quickly and people are getting kids and all that stuff. It's a beautiful thing, I won't lie, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, from Rustenburg, that's how I actually managed to come to Joburg. I came to Joburg in 2008 to actually go study at AFDA to be a filmmaker. That's why I got to learn how filmmaking is and all that stuff. So yeah, and then after AFDA, I just hustled. I hustled all the way till today,
Right.
meeting you right here. I think in the film industry, the number one thing you need to do is to hustle, bro. You need to make sure you make networks with people, and any opportunity that you get to network with people and meet new people, you must definitely take it, because those same people that you're meeting, they are people that you're gonna work with in the industry.
I mean, you came from after,
Yeah.
and you got into the industry. I think you came in really hot.
Yeah.
Right? You came in really hot, which is very, very rare, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
What made you so special that you
don't
came in
know.
hot?
I guess when you're chosen, like, some things are talent, bro. Like God-given talent. That's why we are 1 year old up until we get to like 18 or 19 or even 20. In life, you're supposed to find yourself, You'll never find yourself unless you explore. You'll never know what you love or what you're great at unless you explore. So, especially us, it's our duty as parents to make sure that our kids explore each and every single avenue out there. You get what I'm saying? So we mustn't, as parents, we must expose our kids to everything. Because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for like my brother. My brother's the one who gave me my first video camera back in the year 2000. He had a camera.
Oh, so he saw talent or in you very, very early, or was it like taking a chance?
So my oldest brother, his name is Ernest. He loved photography. He used to be the guy who takes everybody's photos. So a film photo, I first saw it from him, He's the one who was shooting everybody's family members, shooting us. We still have albums, dude. They look like photos taken in this decade because he was shooting on film with a good camera. Film lasts forever.
Right.
Yeah, so I looked at those photos the other day and I was like, damn, dude, the quality is still freaking amazing. And it's from 20 years ago. So he's the guy who made sure that I am introduced into the, I'm having deja vu.
Deja vu.
Yeah, now it's gone. So he introduced me to photography back then. And then I remember he bought a camera that he wanted to shoot music videos with. At the time, he was like a producer. So he had a production company or music label in a sense. He wanted to shoot music videos with that camera. He only shot one video. And the funny thing is, I don't know where the heck that video is. I can't find it on YouTube. I don't think he has it. But yeah, so then the camera was just parked and doing nothing. So there's one time I took it. I don't remember how I got to take it, but I took it and then I went to work with it. So when I was at work, there's a pastor who came in. His name is Pastor Mwase. He actually passed away now. He saw that camera and he's like, he was blown away that I had that camera. It's like having a C80 or something. Or
back then, camcorders was a big thing. So I'm guessing it was
pretty. So he was shocked that I had that camera. He invited me to come and shoot some a service at his church. And then that's how I started in the industry, just like that, And today I grafted all the way to get to where I am
so you
right now.
started there, went to AVDA, then became you, the man that you are today. Okay. So by the fact that you came in hot and everybody that is in is in AVDA, most people in AVDA started AVDA, finished at AVDA, still struggle through in the industry. Why is that the case? When you are one of the very few people that just why is that the case?
I feel like like I was saying, I think it's a calling type of thing, man. Like this type of talent is like God-given and it's a calling. So you need to find yourself in the right space that works for your talent. So I feel like this is the right one that worked for me. And the fact that I've been practicing it from when I was a kid, bro, when I was probably I've got my first film camera probably when I was in 98 or 99. I was probably 12 years old and I had a film camera then. So it started from a young age, this thing. I've been learning about it, and I'm from a family where we loved movies. We watched movies every day, every week.
Are you one of those families that want to go rent DVDs?
We rented cassettes. It was cassettes at the time.
VHSs, right?
Yeah, so we rented VHSs every Tuesday, about 2 films. So I would watch movies like constantly. So movies are something that's imprinted in my head, So I've been looking at movies all my life so much that they became a part of me, in a sense. So by the time I went to school, it wasn't a new thing. A lot of people, when they get to AVDA, it's the first time they are introduced to film. They've never held a camera before.
Yeah. So
They've
you
never
had a
written
proper
story.
head start.
Yeah, so I got a proper head start. And by the time I already knew how to edit, I already knew how to shoot with a camera and also edit that same footage, you know? So I had opportunities that built me up to where I was by the time I got to school. So by the time I got to school, it was a thing of, let me see where I can take this talent. And dude, I flew with it, man. Yeah. So it was.
So if I'm understanding correctly, right, just sampling from what you say to encourage other people, it's like, look, if you're going to get into an industry of any kind, have some sort of head start, practice while you're in high school to become what it is that you want to be, and then, hey, you might find yourself in an industry where you're winning just out of the gate.
From grade 5 already. From grade 5, you must have an interest in something. It can be related to what you want to be in the future, or it doesn't have to be, but you must have something. Because the thing is, the brain takes time to process sometimes. So even me, photography, I processed it like under carpet, you know. I didn't know that I'm processing it over
Under
the years.
carpet.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like, it was there, but it's not in your
Subconsciously,
face.
right.
Yeah, but it's there, you know. It's like something that was here. It's in my peripheral, but I'm not looking straight at it.
You know, that's the most South African way of explaining it. It was here.
Yeah, it was right here, bro.
Yeah.
I can see it. There it
Yeah.
is there. Then as I grow, then boom, now it's right in front of my peripheral.
When we were off camera, I tried to figure out how did we meet, right? And then I think a little bit of the discussion was I met you, I knew you because when I was watching your Channel O's and your MTV bases, your name
Music,
Uncle Scrooge will pop up. I'm like,
who's this
that's
guy?
a hot video. Like, and you had like people like, and this is not me talking down to them anyway, Pilot Films. 'Cause I love Bruce.
Yeah.
Gorilla Films.
Films,
There was quite a few, right?
Yeah.
And then your name pops up. I'm like,
What are the other guys? Blue Boy. I think it was Blue Boy or something at the time.
Right. So you had yours, and I'm like, damn, this guy doesn't miss, right?
Yeah.
The rest had hits and misses, right?
Yeah.
But yours hit. I was
Yeah,
like,
boom, 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 every time.
this person, man, who is he? Then I think like a couple years later, you know, I tried to look for you, and then you went with your real name, Ofentse Mwase. Then I somehow got your number, and then we met in Cape Town, which was like last year. Last year.
Yeah.
But then the time you and I got to know your
We've
name was
known
about
each other
10 years
for a
ago.
while, yeah.
Right.
We've known each other for a long
But then,
time.
how did you get to know me? Because I got to know you because you all over.
You probably maybe were trending on something online.
What did
and
I
was
do?
like, who is this guy? And then I just clicked on you, and then I added you as a friend, or you added me as a friend. But we've known each other ever since, you know, that time. And I've been talking on your stuff. You talk on mine every now and then. So I think that's how it got there, you know. Yeah, so it's like people you meet online, and then you finally get to meet them in real life. So yeah, there it is.
Let's talk politics or racial dynamics.
Yeah.
So what I hear everybody says, now this is given how brilliant you are and how you have a major presence.
Yeah.
White people are known, and I'm not speaking from my voice, white people are known to be the owners of this industry, and the black people are not given the shot in the commercial world.
Yeah.
Given that you are an ambassador to a company, can I say their name?
Yeah.
The ambassador is
Of
Sony.
course, Sony,
Of course.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
you want to get...
That's my family.
Guess what cameras we're not shooting on in studio? Guess what cameras we're not using?
Don't worry, bro. I'm gonna upgrade your cameras this year, okay? So that you can come to the
They're
real
not being
side
upgraded.
of life.
You know, as a matter of
Real
fact, we
side of
fight
life.
about it. We fight about it. Canon versus Sony, right?
Yeah.
Right? But we can't get too much into it before each of us might get
You
into
know,
trouble.
Exactly.
Right? So, given that they say white people are running the industry, but then I look at offenses and they're like doing great. And it's like, do they really run the industry? What is your take about it?
Yeah, 100%. I think the tides have changed. I'll tell you that much. It used to be a thing where we don't get opportunities to ever get in front of the camera or behind the camera and actually operate or do whatever, even the directing seat. But the tides have changed in the past, like I would say 10, 15 years. It has changed quite a lot where things are becoming more at an equilibrium now. We no longer have a time where they can say, nah, he's black, he can't do that, he can't shoot this, or he can't direct that. You know, that's changed quite a lot right now. And I really appreciate that it's happening. Like a lot of productions that are heading the South African market are all like black productions.
Right.
Well, not all, like most of them are black productions. So I think the tides have shifted quite a lot.
I mean, you have a guy like, what's his name?
Black Brain.
Black Brain. He bought out a major studio in South Africa.
Yeah,
So I'm like, okay, so where's
amazing.
the white market here? I mean,
Yeah.
if black people are actually taking over in in that regard. So in that instant, because you're talking about a tide change over 10 to 15 years, I mean, it's a gradual time. It wasn't like a snap of a finger.
No, it took time.
What do you tell a young black man that loves saying it is white people this, white people that, white people?
Nah, like that time is over, man. Like if you have that kind of mentality, it's only gonna harm you. It's not gonna get you any better or make you become better at whatever you're doing. So don't have that kind of mentality. When the number one thing you must have in your head is that I want to do this thing and I want to be the best at doing this thing. And
100%.
That's what I did. From day one, I remember at school, they gave me a camera and I was like, damn, I really like it here. And from that day on, I just went out and did the best, bro, that I can. And I don't choose, like it doesn't matter if I'm doing a shoot with a 2 million or a 10 million rand budget, I'll do it just as much as
Did you hear that? You hear that? Yeah, all right. So stick with him because he's doing 10 million rand budgets, right?
Bro, I shoot on commercials. Commercials have ridiculous budgets, so they get stuff like that all the time. So even if I'm doing a shoot where I'm getting like 2 grand out of it, I still do my best because I know the worth of always putting out good work. Because people will see that and they'll always recommend you. You understand? So it's my life goal to do the best that I can at any production that I'm doing, and that's what I do.
So recapping what you say, you want to do something with your life, and this is career, film career. Start young. If you are 12 years old and you happen to run into this podcast, and I hope you are 12 years old running into this podcast,
I'm sure
get a camera.
9. They're 9, bro.
9, right?
Yeah, 9-year-olds.
Get a camera, Start figuring it out. It will take a couple of years.
Even
and
a phone.
And then do not have the mentality that somebody's out there to get you. Like there's a certain racial group that's out there to get you for you not to win.
Nah, nonsense. Yeah, don't have that kind of mentality. Just get into whatever you're doing and do the best you can. It doesn't matter what race you are. Just do the best you can. And especially if you're black and you're really good at something, that's even a flex, People will see you even more because some markets are oversaturated. So we definitely need more black creators getting into film, getting into camera work, directing, writing, acting, all that stuff, just so that our industry can grow and get bigger.
Speaking of black, there's a lot of black you bring into your film. So you do parodies of, quite a few films that's out there, and you do this beautiful green screening where you insert yourself into a film. Like you did that with Fast, and you did that with Fast and Furious, John Wick.
Bad Boys, John Wick. I
Bad
think John
Boys,
Wick
right?
was the biggest one,
Yeah, I saw you did that one quite a few times, right?
Yeah.
So you bring a lot of Rustenberg out of you there.
Yes,
so
sir.
this is blown out of proportion. What came out of the idea that, I'm not just going to be like behind the camera. I want to be on screen too. Like what brought that and how did this become a success?
Yeah, I think the thing that people love about it is that it's authentic. I use my home language and people get to enjoy it. And, obviously my home language is Tswana, and a lot of people are Tswana in like South Africa. We have some in Botswana and all over the world. So
no, there's no Tswana people all over the world. Get out of here.
There is. Like
Where?
There could be 5 or 6, but they're there. In the States, I'm sure there's like, I see the numbers there.
Okay.
I can see the analytics.
Oh, you mean the ones that migrated? Gotcha.
Yeah, the ones that migrated and went there. So we are all over the world, bro. You can't say there's no whatever anywhere. We are all over the world. So the fact that people get to see their language portrayed with these people, and also the fact that they understand what I'm saying, so we're having a conversation, it just brings this nice magical thing to it, and people just really love it, man. I don't know why they love it so much, but they really, really do. And I've gotten an opportunity to even work with brands on the same thing. So I've been doing some shows with Mnet currently right now with Showmax. I did a few episodes for them as well, promoting like a certain show on the channel using this same type of work. And I've worked with Amazon as well in the past. I did a few for The Boys, promotions for The Boys, as well as, what is that other film, series? Flip, I forgot the name of the series. But the fact that I did this thing out of fun, because now I remember when I did it, we saw a meme the one time. Remember the time when there were lootings in South Africa?
Right.
There was a meme that says the looters went to John Wick's house and they killed his dog. You
Oh,
know?
yeah, I saw
So
that,
it was
yeah.
a meme. And I was like, wait a sec, let me make this meme into a video. And I did. We shot that video. It was probably like 30 seconds long. That video blew up, dude. It got like 500,000 views in like a day, you know? So I was like, oh, snap. So people like this thing. And then I went again back to John Wick. And then I did another episode that was a little bit longer with him. And the fact that I'm speaking Tswana and John Wick can hear what I'm saying and then
Yeah.
he's replying to me. Like for people that just clicks and it makes it so special because they've never seen something like that before. So that's what
Especially
makes it
how you
work.
edit yourself in. It looks the quality. So here's what I think, right? I think that is a lot of brain power from your side. It's genius because in the sense that you have the talent off screen, right? You cameras, editing and whatnot. And you said to yourself, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I use that same talent and quality while being on screen. So the authenticity is not in you being Tswana alone. It feels real, the texture of the film. I mean, they're probably using big cameras such as Arri, you know,
massive
Venice's,
cameras,
right? And then you take your camera, which I'm pretty sure is going to be like one of the
FX3,
FX3s and whatnot, and match that quality and insert yourself in, and therefore it became big. Do you think that's also?
I think that's one of the big things that made it so successful. The fact that it looks like it's real. Because some people literally, bro, in the streets, they think that I know these people and they're my friends. You know? Like literally.
Yeah, they did like a reshoot with you
Yeah,
in it.
exactly. So that's how they feel because I edited it so well, I shot it so well. So what I do again is I match the lighting. I match the grade. So everything looks legit when you look at it. So I think that's what drives so much traction to it, yeah.
So as an entrepreneur, what is it that you want to encourage somebody who wants to do a bit of both? Because here's the thing. A lot of the times parents, kids tell their parents, I'd like to go to acting school. They say, nope. And then eventually like film school is like, you know what, we'll do film school because you will get some money out of that. Now, as an entrepreneur, a successful one at that, how would you say to the kids, hey, I know you want to do acting, start here. Oh, I know you want to do film, start here. What would you say?
I think the biggest thing is to start. Whether you do it at a college or you do it at a year course or whatever, the biggest thing is to start and actually go in motion and do something.
But now I'm talking about the parents. It's like, parents is like, my son,
Yeah.
How do you
I
talk
think
to?
my wife went through that, you know. Not necessarily her parents, but, you know, people in her family, they were very not accepting or very negative towards the idea of her going to film school. Like, how do you go to film school? Like, filming is easy. But the thing is, they didn't understand that there's levels to this thing. Like any other industry, there's so many different levels. There's writers, directors, producers, you know. There's cinematographers, editors, VFX artists, art directors. There's like all kinds of music people in there. There's so many departments. It's not just one thing. So I'm imagining they were just seeing just a camera being held and then you're shooting something. There's so many layers to filmmaking that there are there. So I think that's the thing that they didn't understand at that time. So I feel like if a kid is in love with doing film and stuff like that, parents should be in a position to let them do it, you know, and let them do it till they fail. Yeah, I think that's one of the big things.
I think this is a testimony from both of us. I mean, we're both in film.
Yeah.
Right now, we're using cinema cameras. This is actually better than most podcast quality.
Yeah.
Simply because, you know.
No, this is next level stuff.
Yeah, I just hope the content quality is just as good
exactly.
too. Exactly.
So I think parents must just give kids the opportunity to try and fail, you know? Just let them try and fail.
But what if it's too expensive for them to try and fail?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing is that a lot of the times is that parents and kids are sitting down together and saying, look, can we afford to take you to school? And they generally like, no, we cannot. So how do you convince that? Because it's not that simple. It's not that simple.
I think another thing is parents as well. We have the responsibility to prepare for something like this. Like I'll tell you right now, I have a fund that I'm building up for my kids already. And I've saved up money for them. And it's in investment accounts also. It's generating money also on itself. So it's very important that from the day your kid is born, you start saving for them. Even if it's as little as 50 Rand a month, you must just save. Like fight to do it because you are going to need this in the future, you know. it's very unfair for a parent to bring a kid into this world and then they don't prepare for them for their future. Because once you're done with varsity and stuff, you can let them go, you know. So prepare enough for when they get to varsity, because that's where you need to support them the most. And then as soon as they're done with that, you can let them go and let them do whatever it is that they want to do.
Let's speak dynamic of the family.
Yeah.
So in everything you do, your wife always pops up,
Yeah.
right? She's there in the video. She's usually mad at you.
Yeah.
That's the first time I meet her. Right? First time I meet her, and she's really supportive through and through.
Yeah.
When I say come to the podcast,
Yeah.
and you're like, we're outside, I'm like,
Who's this
is she
we?
gonna be mad at me too? Right? I'm like, they're definitely coming together.
Yeah.
But given that you've got a supportive wife,
Yes.
do you think that was a good decision on your end, and that is why your career is where it is? If so, tell us
Mention
more.
it. See, we even got the blessings, man. It's starting to rain right now.
It's even raining on
We
my
hope
Mac.
you guys can hear us properly. I'm
Yeah.
sure you can. So, now I know it's cliche to say that, but it's true. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for my wife, because she was the person who supported me the most. She's the person who fought for me the most. And she's the person who I do this with the most. Like everything that we do, we literally do it together. The only time where I'll probably do something else alone is if I'm hired as a cinematographer and I go to a different country, you know. That's where she can't go. But if it's a production and it's here at home, she's always there to be with me and to also support me, and we partner at this thing together. You know what I'm saying?
You work with a lot of talents we've never seen before, right? We've seen people on your film sets. We've seen people on screen that never ever heard before.
Yeah.
Tell me, why is that the case? Why don't you work with people that are gurus in the industry? Yet at the end of the day, you've made a name for yourself. Why are you not working with the best? The best.
I would say we do get to work with the best, so to say, and it depends on the production. So, but what we're doing is we're doing a skill building type of initiative, which is called OM Films Who's Next. Yeah, so Who's Next is essentially a initiative that I started with my wife, where we get to work with people in the industry, whether they're starting out or even established ones, that want to kind of like have a show reel for themselves. So we'll do a film where we invite them, we work with them, and then they're the actors in that film or the behind the scenes crew, it doesn't matter. That's so that they can help them have something tangible in their CDs. So as you know, when you come into our industry, they want to see what you've done. You can tell people what you've
Gotcha.
done. But it doesn't work like that.
Gotcha.
So we strongly believe in building the people up, like skill wise, and that's the same thing that I do with Sony. You know, I'm a Sony Alpha ambassador. So what we do?
I wanted to get to that Sony
Yeah.
part a bit later, right?
Okay.
Because I wanted to speak about other things for now, like, for example, why you bring them in. And it makes sense that these people that you're working with can use for CVs. Because a lot of the times, I mean, I myself, I look at somebody, I'm like, I'm going to have to take a chance here. No, he does not have the knowledge and all. But if I see he came from Ofentse Mwase, I'm like,
There we go.
man, come here. Yeah.
Exactly. And then there's a lot of people that we help build up into the industry as well. Obviously, a lot of them are already famous, but the fact that they got to work with us, it got them even more on a higher platform in the industry. And to be honest, I'm very happy that I get to work with people and actually give them a bigger step or to go forward, you know, to build themselves up in the industry. And yeah, I think that's what it's all about.
Internet presence.
Bro,
Because I mean, there's nothing quite like you, like how you've done it. There's literally nobody else. I think I'm the only other cinematographer, but the gap between you and me is big. It's huge. And I'm like, I am the best to ever do it, but the gap. Please explain, how did that happen?
yeah. So with us, it's, I would say, especially the online presence, it started around 2016, 2017. And that's where we started to build this thing online. So we looked at the market, me and my wife, we looked at the market and we saw that people are growing accustomed to online presence, and they're growing accustomed to platforms like YouTube, Facebook, like Instagram, you know, all that stuff. So at that time, it wasn't that big. It was there, but it was mostly for, like, it wasn't a defined market in a sense. So we decided to start to put stuff online. At the time, we weren't doing comedy. And then we started doing comedy around that time, and we saw a growth. People love watching funny things online because I think it helps them, you know, disconnecting the troubles of life or whatever it is that they're going through. And the fact that they can disconnect just for the 3 minutes watching this thing, it makes them feel better about themselves. So we saw that and we're like, maybe we should go into this thing and see how far we can take it. And we did, man. We just started growing our channels from there. I remember I started posting first on Facebook at the time. I was posting on Facebook and yeah, I was like, whatever, let's see what happens. And then the next day when I check on the video, it's got like 100,000 views. So the fact that we got that, I was like, what? Maybe there's something to this thing. So I think with us, we started at the right time. So it was very easy for us to grow our market. Today, when you look at our Facebook, we have 1.4 million subscribers. When you look at my Facebook alone, I have over 1 million followers. And then you see her on her own channel, she's got 1 million followers as well.
On that note, please follow me. All his followers follow me.
You follow Galston, there. Yeah. Come on, do it. So I think the thing that makes it so easy for us is the fact that I understand quality because I'm a professional cinematographer. I shoot movies, I shoot TV commercials, I shoot music videos. I understand quality, and what I did is I took that same quality that I use in all of the professional
Well, then you brought it.
and then I brought it into this. And
I want to actually hit on that note because you talk about quality. I don't know how much of this discussion I will enjoy, right? So you're an ambassador to Sony Alpha, right? And I've been to quite a few Sony events, and I have to admit there are some of the cameras that are right, particularly the Burano. Although I tilt more on the other side, Canon. But you got to give props where it is due. And you became an ambassador of that. Please tell us the journey. Did they see your quality like, yo, we got to have this guy? Tell us that and where you.
that's exactly how it happened. I've never in my life contacted Sony. I've never asked them for anything. I've never asked for help from them or anything. This one time I just got an email. Hi, we are interested in your work and we love what you do. Are you keen to become a Sony ambassador? I thought it's big. Okay. I thought it's like a Nigerian prince trying to
Trying to say for you to get your money.
just send us 5,000 and then we'll send you 100,000.
Right.
I thought it was one of those. And then I took a chance, and at that time it was just before COVID, around 2020. So for me, I thought it's fake, but I did reply to them, and then they asked for a meeting. I went to see them. I went to the Sony office, and wow, it was a legit thing. And then yeah, that's how it started for me. So how that happened is they saw the quality of work that I put out,
Right.
which is so important that as a cinematographer, director, writer, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Put your work out there so people can see it.
So please, I need to say that. So obviously the quality of the texture of the thing, but the quality of the work was all of it. It was just, like you said, director, producer, all of that. So that's what they saw entirety of you,
Yeah.
and they gave you a call.
Yeah, so in essence, they saw the type of quality that we're producing. That's why I'm saying it doesn't matter what type of creator you are, whether you're a writer, a director, a musician, or a cinematographer, editor. Put out the right quality where people are gonna see that thing and say, I want to associate myself with that. Like as I'm saying, that's all that happened. And even till today, Sony, when they're looking out for people to collaborate with, they look at the quality of work that you're putting out. How often are you putting it out? Are people engaging with it? And as soon as they see that you check all those boxes, they will definitely contact you. So don't take for granted putting work out onto the internet. A lot of people don't do that, and I don't understand why. Like people will work on a bunch of commercials or even a film, but they don't promote it.
Right, they hold on to their work. There's like, yo, they're not ready for this. That mentality as well kind of messes with my brain. It's like if you have a set of work that is actually good for you, why are you holding back, waiting for a right time, or B, but someone's gonna steal my idea? See, any sort of excuse like that mentality. Do you see that mentality a lot?
Yeah, I see it quite often with a lot of people. And I've always wondered, why are these people like this, you know? Because I just feel like it's taking away from your talent. It's taking away from the work that you do, you know? People want to see what you're working on so that they can involve you in what they're working on. And then you know what they say, out of sight, out of mind. So if people don't see your work and see what you're doing, they literally forget about you. So which in turn ties back to what we do with the comedy. Comedy is something that can trend all the time. So it makes sure that people always see our brand. And whenever they thinking of something, they think of our brand and then they incorporate.
When did you realize you're funny?
That's a good question. Let me think. Hold on. Let me see. I didn't know I was until, to be honest, I think the first video that I did with me was actually that same John Wick video, if I'm thinking about it. Because before that, I don't remember I did anything like, it is. The John Wick video is the first thing that I did.
So the people decided you were funny, and then you're like, "Hey, okay, I got a talent I did not know about." And you ran with it.
Didn't know. I think with my wife, it's the same thing. Because the first video she did was a vinegar advert. You can search it on YouTube. Just please play it.
Never see where Mwase
Yeah.
vinegar advert.
Able. Please search that and then please put it in the video. So even her, I didn't know she's funny. Like I was shocked. We were just like, oh, let's put her on this thing and see what happens. And then she went in. She was with Flash, with the Fire. Those are comic.
Right.
So she went in there and she actually killed it. First video, first time she's ever been on screen. Bro, she smashed it out the park. And then it started from there. And then she started to gradually build. So even with me, it started the same way. I did that John Wick video. I didn't think it's funny. And I put it out. People found it hilarious. I did the next one. The next one was even more funnier than the last one. And then, yeah, that's how it came up. And I was just having fun, dude.
The rest was history. So you mentioned your wife a lot in almost everything. Tell you what, I want to be successful too. How about I borrow your wife for like 6 months? She shows me the ropes. Let us see where I need to be successful too. Help me out. Oh, sister, come on.
Yeah, even her sister's great. So
Yeah.
there's people out there that can unlock the best
Yeah.
potential out of you. And I was blessed to have her to unlock the best potential out of me. And then that's what it is, bro.
You know, in these moments, I really want to take the time to celebrate good couples, good women, and yourself,
Yes.
a good man. While we're on that note and we drinking some of this.
Yeah.
Off camera, you just went on and on and on. And I was like, okay, what is this about?
This is me right now, ne? So really, this is proper right here. So you know what's my biggest problem has been with alcohol, especially in a clear bottle like this. You look at it, and then you put it on a drink, and then you drink it, and it tastes nothing like what you see there. That's always been my biggest problem with like alcoholic beverages. But this, for the first time, is a drink that I put it in my glass and I drank it, and it tasted exactly as well.
Shout out.
No,
Thank
I'm
you.
looking at-
Thank you.
So, dude, this is incredible. I'm telling you, this is gonna take over the market, especially with the ladies.
I think your wife says it tastes like the weekend, right?
That is it.
That's I like that compliment.
It's got that honey taste as well as with an alcoholic twist to it. It just worked.
So you know one thing you never asked me, right? Which I'm gonna take this opportunity to explain. What did you call the bottle?
Which one? This one?
Yeah, what's the name of the brand?
Sorelli.
Sorella. Okay, so you know it now.
Yeah.
And Sorella is actually Italian. It means sisters.
Oh! That makes sense.
I like that.
There we go.
So it's basically Mother Earth,
Yeah.
which created the blueberries, and the queen bee that created the honey came together as sisters to make Sorelle.
Fantastic.
On that note, on a closing note,
Yeah.
I want you to give the 19, 20-year-old some encouragement. Look, go buy you this camera or go rent you this camera. Have your dreams set on this.
Yeah.
Have your mindset like this and close it up on that high note.
So if you're young and you're like 17, you're 18, 19, you don't know what you do with yourself, I think it's cool. A lot of people go through that in life. So don't be too hard on yourself. And what worked for me is that I took some time off from education in order to kind of like find myself. And then I went back into education and it worked for me. So I think when I was 18, I finished school. Well, I finished school at 17 actually. So from 18, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So 18, 19, 20, I spent those years kind of like finding myself. And then when I hit 21, that's when I went to tertiary officially. I feel like as kids or as students, it's very good to like almost take a break and find yourself until you decide, Guti, this is the thing that I want to tackle. I feel like going to school or a tertiary institution, not for everyone. This is what worked for me. It worked really well for me to go there when I was 21 because I was more focused and I understood why I'm there and I didn't take it for granted. I didn't go there to waste my parents' money. I've seen a lot of people go to tertiary and they get there, they do very badly. They just waste their parents' money in essence. So I feel like find out what type of person you are. Obviously, there's people that can go to tertiary at 15. I saw there's a kid who was like probably like 10 or something, and he was at Harvard, but he's 10 years old. He's just a genius, you know? So there's different types of people, but I'm the type of person that's needed to mature a little bit more and then go into whatever it is that I wanted to do with my tertiary life. So don't be too hard on yourself. Make sure that you pace yourself right and make sure that you make the correct decision in your career that works for you at the time. Because if you don't do that, you're going to waste your time. You're going to waste your parents' money. You're going to waste your time as well. So make sure that you go into a field where you're passionate about. You need to be passionate about the work that you're going to do because it doesn't help you to go into an industry where you're not passionate about it and you're going to go in there and then become a burden to someone else. You understand? So make sure that you understand yourself first and then understand the type of creative that you are, whether you're a creative or you're a book person, you work with numbers. All of us are different like that. Make sure that you find yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself.
Best version of yourself. So I understand that you have to take time to think. When you figured out what it is you want to do, get in with passion. Be the best version of yourself. Thank you so much for being here. And you know what's interesting about you is that you've got zero scandals, even though you've been in this industry for 15 years. And on that high note, hey,
That's the
let me just end this by saying thank you so much for being here.
not a problem, bro.
And you've heard it from the man himself, Ofentse Mwase, from being Uncle Scrooge to Ofentse to starting off with a camcorder to cinema cams, from starting from nothing to becoming something. Mwase, right? Kabani.
Kabad.
From Kabani to Johannesburg and becoming the man that he is today, and also choosing a good wife.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's the most important one, my brother.
Most important indeed. So for the next episode, please make sure that you subscribe, follow. What's the other one?
And like,
I always get these things wrong. Subscribe, follow, and like. Until the next episode, peace out.
peace out, my people. Love y'all. Away. Nice one, dudes.